Bachelorette JoJo Fletcher opens up about fertility journey, July 2, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation News. Fans, Bachelorette couple JoJo Fletcher and Jordan Rogers recently celebrated their third wedding anniversary, but they've been together much longer. They got engaged on the season 12 finale in 2016. It took them a while to make it down the aisle. Now it's taking them a while to get pregnant. JoJo Fletcher can't wait to have kids with her husband. She opened up about the fertility journey to make it happen. JoJo Fletcher looks back at relationship ahead of a huge milestone. The final 3 men on season 12 of The Bachelorette were Robbie Hayes, Jordan Rogers, and Chase McNary. After weeks of handing out roses, JoJo Fletcher gave her final rose to Jordan Rogers. He got down on one knee and proposed to her. She happily accepted, but their walk down the aisle was long and full of twists and turns. The couple had planned to marry in 2020, but had to push the wedding back twice due to the pandemic that shut everything down. JoJo Fletcher and Jordan Rogers finally tied the knot in June 2022 at a winery in California. They were surrounded by friends and family, as well as some famous athletes, including NFL player Tim Tebow. Jordan Rogers was a college football star and is also the brother of pro football player Aaron Rodgers. JoJo Fletcher and Jordan Rogers moved to Puerto Rico in 2021. They recently celebrated their third wedding anniversary. She said it was wild to think that they've been together for almost 10 years now. Bachelorette star opens up about fertility journey. JoJo Fletcher is a mom. A dog mom. The Bachelorette couple has 2 adorable German short-haired pointers, Jackson and Jagger, but she wants to have babies. She hasn't revealed too much about the struggle to get pregnant. The former reality star shared a message of encouragement to anyone suffering fertility problems. JoJo revealed that she even tried acupuncture to help her get pregnant. It hasn't worked yet, but she's not giving up hope. Us Weekly caught up with her recently at an outing to promote her St. Spritz alcohol line. Fertility is such a sensitive topic to anybody going through it. Jordan and I have been on our own fertility journey, and man, it's been a journey, JoJo said about the struggle to get pregnant. She added, "I do keep positive about the situation, and I know that when it's meant to be, it will be." JoJo Fletcher hasn't said too much about her fertility struggles, but she's not alone. According to studies, 11% of women experience some type of fertility issues. Several stars from the Bachelor Nation franchise have spoken out about their struggles to get pregnant. Sarah Heron has been vocal about her experience with IVF. She welcomed twin girls last year with her husband, Dylan Brown. Kaylin Bell, formerly known as Miller Keys, has been open about her and her husband Dean Bell's efforts to start a family. JoJo Fletcher believes it will happen for her when the time is right. JoJo Fletcher opens up about her fertility journey, the chapter she never expected to share. Life after the fairy tale. JoJo Fletcher had already lived a fairy tale. Millions watched her fall in love on The Bachelorette, and even more followed her real-life love story with Jordan Rogers post-show. From television to real estate, brand collaborations to football games, the couple had become a glowing example of what could happen when reality TV and real-life love collided and worked. But behind every perfectly filtered Instagram story and the glimmer of celebrity events was a private, aching silence. JoJo and Jordan had talked about children long before their 2022 wedding. They laughed about it during interviews, teased names and timelines, even joked that their kids would need an entire section of the NFL to fit their family's personality. But in the quiet moments, in doctors' offices, and between ovulation tracker alerts, the pressure began to build. And JoJo, for the first time since handing out roses, was ready to talk about it. The first signs. "It was supposed to be easy," JoJo said in an exclusive interview with Bachelor Beat Weekly, her voice soft but clear. "We had done everything else on our timeline, even if it didn't always go as planned. So when we started trying, I really believed I'd be pregnant in a few months. Those months turned into a year. Then another. The couple first approached it casually. No tracking, no stress. But as time passed and every test remained negative, JoJo's optimism slowly turned to confusion. Friends from the franchise, Lauren Bushnell, Raven Gates, were announcing pregnancies with growing bumps and nursery room tours. "I was genuinely happy for them," JoJo said, her smile bittersweet. "But there's a pain in seeing what you want so close, but just out of reach." Going public. Almost. JoJo had written and deleted a post on her Notes app a dozen times. She wanted to share, but the words didn't come easy. "I felt guilty for struggling, like I didn't have a right to talk about it because I'm healthy, I have an amazing husband and a career. But the truth is, fertility doesn't care about any of that." It was a trip to a fertility specialist in Dallas that shifted everything. The doctor gently explained that JoJo had a condition called unexplained infertility, something that affects nearly 15% of couples trying to conceive. There was no blockage, no visible issues, but also no success. That diagnosis did something unexpected. It gave JoJo permission to grieve. She said, "We grieve the timing, the expectations, the belief that our bodies should work on command. I finally realized I wasn't broken, but I was hurting." Jordan, the quiet anchor. While JoJo stans often see her as the radiant, go-getter with endless energy, those close to her know Jordan is the anchor, steady, grounded, and unshakably supportive. "I think people forget that men feel this too," JoJo said. "Jordan would see me cry after every failed test. He held me after appointments, tracked calendars with me, and took vitamins without question. But he had his own moments. There was a day when we were alone, and he said, 'I just want to be a dad with you, no matter what that looks like.' That broke me." JoJo described how Jordan's consistency gave her strength when she wanted to disappear from the world. In public, they smiled. In private, they rebuilt each other. IVF and Instagram. By late 2024, the couple made the decision to try IVF. "It's invasive, it's overwhelming, and it's not talked about enough," JoJo shared. "Every injection felt like a reminder that I wasn't doing this the normal way, but also I was doing it." JoJo filmed some of her hormone shots, not to post right away, but to have the option to share when she was ready. That readiness came when one follower messaged her, "I wish someone like you would talk about this." She posted a raw, unfiltered Instagram reel in January 2025, showing glimpses of her IVF journey. There were needles, there were tears, and most of all, there was honesty. The post went viral. Suddenly, JoJo wasn't just the girl who gave out roses. She became a face of vulnerability and strength for women everywhere silently fighting the same battle. Unexpected blessings. The first round of IVF didn't work. Neither did the second. JoJo started to resent her body. "I was angry at it for betraying me." And then something shifted. JoJo and Jordan took a break. They traveled to Montana. They hiked, unplugged, and for 2 weeks didn't discuss fertility or doctors or calendars. It was during that trip that JoJo took a test, more out of habit than hope. Positive. "I thought it was a mistake," she laughed. "I literally bought 5 more. After years of heartbreak, the pregnancy came naturally." Rainbow joy. In June 2025, JoJo and Jordan announced they were expecting, with a beautiful series of photos showing JoJo cradling a small bump, surrounded by wildflowers in a golden Texas field. The caption read, "We waited, we prayed, we fought, and now we're finally holding on to the rainbow we dreamed about. Baby Rogers, coming 2026. The internet exploded. Bachelor Nation rallied around them, with messages from Caitlin Bristow, Rachel Lindsay, even Chris Harrison. But perhaps the most touching reaction came from JoJo's longtime friend,
Becky Tilley, who commented, "You were strong when you didn't have to be. You told your truth when it wasn't easy, and now you get to be a mom. There's no one more deserving." Redefining strength. For JoJo, motherhood will be more than bottles and bassinets. It will be a continuation of the strength she found in herself, a strength that bloomed not when everything was perfect, but when everything was uncertain. "I used to think my story ended when we got married," she said during an emotional appearance on Good Morning America. "But the real story began when we didn't get what we wanted right away. That's when I really met myself." She plans to launch a fertility-focused podcast, giving other women a place to share stories of IVF, miscarriages, endometriosis, and hope. She's also partnering with a nonprofit to provide grants to couples unable to afford fertility treatments. "My baby is part of my miracle, but so is every woman who wakes up every day and tries again." The nursery and the next chapter. The Rogers Dallas home is being transformed. What was once JoJo's office is now a nursery with soft greens, hand-painted animals, and a crib that took Jordan 2 days to assemble, with a few swear words in between. They don't know the gender, by choice. "We want to be surprised," JoJo smiled. "We've waited long enough. A little mystery is a good thing. But one thing's certain. This child will be raised in a home full of resilience, laughter, and a love story that was never just about how they met, but how they kept choosing each other through every season."